What's going on, guys, and welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. It's Christmas time, and I got my little Christmas present to myself sitting back here, my little 1968 Corvette. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But, you know, we're sitting here in the studio, and I thought it was kind of cool seeing the progress of this thing and all the videos so you can kind of keep track of it as we go. And, I mean, it's coming along really good. But, you know, Christmas is kind of a fun time of year. I got a story that I shared on the radio show that I want to share with you guys. You know, everybody's heard, you know, when my dad bought me the Trans Am in high school. My dad actually did something really cool for me when I was younger that really sticks out in my mind, and we still share moments with these things now. You know, keep in mind, my dad was a pro mod drag racer. He was Mr. Rough, Tough, Macho, walk it off kind of guy. There, you know, we lived in a neighborhood when we moved out the trailer park. Let me rephrase that. We lived in a neighborhood that was really hilly. And I mean, like my driveway went straight up, and you know, here I am, a chubby kid trying to pedal this bicycle up hills everywhere you went. Didn't work out too good. You know, all the other kids are riding around on their bikes, and I'm just wasn't my thing. You know, I guess my dad saw that while he was playing in the garage or whatnot. All the kids playing on their bikes, and you know, and I tried. I mean, I could ride a bike, but I'll be honest with you, it probably wasn't the sexiest looking thing in the world, so you definitely wasn't picking up none of the neighborhood chicks on your Schwinn when you were built like I was back in the day. So Christmas time rolls around. You know, I was probably 11, 12 years old. I'll never forget, we lived in a 2-story house, and I ran downstairs, you know, woke up real early Christmas morning, ran downstairs. I sit down in the den, it's where the Christmas tree was, and there was 5 or 6 Matchbox cars and like a Craftsman screwdriver set and a little plastic toolbox, and that's it. And you know, I mean, I wasn't, you know, ungrateful. I mean, you know, if that's all my parents could do, that was great, you know, like I said. But I'm thinking, man, you know, Santa kind of stiffed me this year. On a side note, another thing that was really funny about this night is on Christmas Eve, my dad brings home the truck and the race car trailer to the house, which he never really brought it to the house. But all of a sudden, this thing's sitting outside. So we got this big 40-foot long Featherlight trailer sitting outside. But I didn't think anything different. You know, he gave me some excuse and I believed it. So anyway, I'm downstairs with my 5 or 6 Matchbox cars, Craftsman screwdriver, and cheap plastic toolbox. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it and I'm picking up the cars. And, you know, my mom and dad are down there and they're snapping Polaroids and whatnot. And it's 4 camera phones. So, you know, and my dad says, you know, Santa Claus might have left you something in the garage. And I'm like, in the garage. So I darted up and I ran down the hallway to the garage. And I opened the garage door, and there sat an E-Z-GO Marathon golf cart. Bright red, had the white vinyl seats, had little moon disc hubcaps, had a white top. It had a Corvette, a C4 Corvette third brake light on the top of it, and it had a GT Grant steering wheel and a Spark-O-Matic cassette player in it with 2 Spark-O-Matic 6x9 speakers mounted in it. And I thought this was the end-all, be-all, coolest thing ever. Had headlights and taillights and all that stuff on it. And I'll never forget, it was so cold. I mean, it was bitterly cold outside. I mean, it was probably, you know, 20 degrees. You know, here I am running upstairs as fast as my little fat ass could, and putting on a jacket and, you know, extra socks and all this stuff. And me and my dad are riding around the neighborhood in 20-degree weather in this little electric golf cart. You know, my dad painted it for me, and this thing, it was slick, and it was, I mean, a really neat present. And I mean, I remember, I'm 40 years old, and I still remember that just like it was yesterday, just riding around and feeling, it didn't even have a windshield, so you're feeling the wind, and our lips are chapped, and I mean, like your face is cold, but we loved it. I mean, we had gloves on, and me and my dad were riding around at 4 o'clock in the morning on this golf cart. We rode all over the neighborhood in it, brought it back in the garage, and, you know, and I was so excited, like I wiped it down in the garage. And then we went back out. My grandparents came over a little earlier in the morning. We all had breakfast at my house like we always did for Christmas. And I took my grandparents out riding around on it. And, you know, me and my dad went out riding around, and I had that golf cart all the way up till I started driving, and it actually needed batteries, and we ended up selling it. You know, I had a driver's license then, so the golf cart wasn't super cool. That was like a moment that I shared with my dad, because my dad was like a big kid. You know, my parents had me really young, so we kind of grew up together. When something like that, and it's crazy, I've had so many custom golf carts over the years. You know, I used to build them and sell them all the time, and you know, every year I'd build me a new golf cart, something wild, lifted with the big wheels on them. I mean, way cooler than this Marathon was. But it's so funny now though. Every time you get me and my dad on a golf cart, it takes me right back to that Christmas morning and riding around on that thing. And my dad, you know, he's an old man now, and we still, every time you get us on a golf cart, we're like two little giggling ass kids on this thing. You know what though? The golf cart was cool, but I think the Corvette's a little bit cooler Christmas present. You know, we're talking about it. This is a 1968 Corvette. This was the first year for the C3. These cars, you know, it was coming off a best-selling year for Corvette, which was 1967. The reason they changed the body style was actually for a couple of reasons. You know, you had a car that was selling good, but the guys that raced Corvettes hated them because aerodynamically, as described by Zoroarkis Duntov, who is the father of the Corvette, said it was designed like a bad airplane. This car right here, he had a lot in the design of it, the aerodynamics of it, you know, that Coke bottle shape. And these were some of the winningest cars in Corvette history racing because of that. Another thing is you got to think about it, automatic transmissions changed. The C2 Corvette had a lot more leg room in it, but because of that, the transmission tunnel was really small, so the biggest automatic transmission you could put in a second-gen Corvette was a 2-speed Power Glide. Well, now they had the 3-speed Turbo 400. They wanted to be able to put it in their Corvette. Well, it wouldn't work in a C2, but it works in the C3. So this is also, it's the first year for the Turbo 400 in a Corvette. You know, you got to think about 1968. This car cost about $4,800 new, which in today's money is about $38,000. So, I mean, this was a pretty pricey item in 1968 when they first came out. 68 had a lot of one-year only things also with the cars, you know, as far as the push button, door handles. If you look at the quarters on a 68 and a 69, they're different from a 70, 71, 72. All the engine drivetrains from 67 basically carried over. This car right here is an L79 327, 350 horse, 360 foot-pounds of torque. It's a matching numbers car, white over red leather interior. It's kind of a bare bones car. Other than that, it's a manual window. It's even a manual steering car. It's just a super clean, cool, frame-off restored cruiser. And we're gonna have some fun with this one. I don't leave them stock. I'm definitely gonna ditch the Paw Paw Rally wheels off of it. And that luggage rack is gone for sure. Probably stick me an L88 hood, some side pipes, and some big wheels, and drop this thing on its balls like I do all the rest of them. And cruise around. And we'll have all that on the channel too. You know, I like these little Corvettes. I can nerd out on Corvette stuff all day. But you know what? I think you know me better than that. Let's get some good shots of this thing. Now this is my kind of Christmas. It's been f***ing horrible. Pretty bad. I'm horribly bad. That's right. I can I get you too? I never win. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. It's like a come in hot.
I know.
Well, see what it was is, you know,
See what kind of star you are.
that's that whole,
Son,
that was that whole,
we could have a damn 7.2 on the Richter scale earthquake, and I wouldn't miss a beat. You damn right. I'm the baddest of them all. And I totally don't know what to say.
Is that in your chin?
Give him a second one. I don't want to get trapped in this hole. We're gonna see how your editing skills are, Chuck. I'm gonna stick my phone right there. Now this is my kind of Christmas. It's been horrible. Can a bad rabbit? Ba 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 ba. What do you think, Matt? You gave me that look. Your full. You know what do I do? It's like, okay, let me get that for you. It's a little stiff. You ready?
Go!
Make sure these bad boys are.
You don't want the puppies jumping the fence.
Yeah, that happens.
So, is this where we get naked?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Spikes on your boot ain't all the thing.
Rabbit, you coming?
Not yet. Give me a minute. Merry Christmas, guys.
Season's greetings, mother. Like what you see? Make sure you like and subscribe.